A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I want A+ English.
Hi everybody, welcome back to A+ English. I'm Pat.
I'm Shiglin.
And we're on day 2 of our article about film cuts. So yesterday we learned a bit about what they are and how they can change what you feel when you're watching a movie. And that leads to our warm-up question. What other things in movies change their feelings or stories?
That's a tough question. Well, we've been talking about cuts.
Yes.
We talked about jump cut, talked about cutaway.
Yeah.
And I think the lines, probably the lines and maybe how the actors
Deliver them,
yeah.
for sure. I would say music is probably one of the most powerful ones,
True.
right? Because if you put the right kind of music in a scene, you get a different feel.
That is so true,
But
yeah.
if you take the sound out, it's another completely different
That
feel.
is so true. Like when you're watching a spooky movie and if you just mute the movie, you don't feel anything.
Right, but you add in the music, and light would do the same as well. We did an article about light and color theory for last month's A+ English. And that shows how using different colors could be, this is a darker story, this is a light story, that kind of thing. So yeah, lots of things can change the feelings of it. For a written story, I got a whole bunch of other things, but we don't have time to go into them because we're going to go for day 2 of our article and look at 2 more types of film cuts.
Film cuts bring everything together. Warm-up question. What other things in movies change their feelings or stories?
Some cuts can help tell a film's story. Here are 2 more to look out for. Match cut. A match cut matches 2 scenes. You see a shot, then the next shot has something with a similar action, object, or sound. Match cuts link up events and help scenes flow together. The movie 2001: A Space Odyssey has a famous match cut that connects humans' past and future. Crosscut. Crosscuts move between scenes in different times and spaces. They show that the action is happening at the same time. Christopher Nolan used crosscuts in Inception to show different levels of a dream. When you're watching a movie, look for the different cuts. You might love how they change a story.
So part 2 of our article just starts by reintroducing us to the idea, and it says some cuts can help tell a film's story. Here are 2 more to look out for.
那这是我们今天 Magic Box 的第一个片语，它是 look out for someone or something， 代表努力寻找的意思。那我们等等再回来。
Magic Box。
Hello， 大家好，我是艾赛。今年下班之后呢，就是我跟几个朋友我们约要去逛街哦。那不过你知道，我跟我朋友我们约在捷运站呢。那在那个时候呢，就是刚好逢下班时间，然后所以在捷运站的人呢就非常非常的多。那我跟我朋友呢就在我们在捷运站里面就找另外一个朋友，我就问他说 ，I'm looking for James. Have you seen him? 我在寻找 James， 你有看到他吗？那我们后来找了一段时间之后，我们才看到他，所以就是真的。大家，我下次再约人多要碰面的时候，真的会再三考虑哦。那在刚刚那个例句当中呢，其实我们用到一个动词片语，就是 look for。那这个片语呢，其实它表示的意思有寻找，那它其实比较像是大方向的这样子去寻找。那如果今天你要表示的是你努力去寻找，或是注意寻找的话呢，其实呢，你可以用一个片语，就是 look out for somebody or something。那这个片语的这个寻找呢，比较偏向是仔细的寻找哦，像是呢 ，The police told us to look out for a green car on this street。 警方呢告诉我们要在这条街上仔细的去寻找一台绿色的汽车哦。那这个片语呢，其实也可以有表示有照顾某人的意思哦。那通常我们在使用上呢，我们会是 look out for somebody。那我们用这个片语呢，我们来造一个例句式看看，像是如果你今天想要表达说，我是家里面年纪里面最年长的小孩，我总是呢就是会照顾我的弟弟跟妹妹。那这时候呢，其实你就可以说 I'm the oldest kid in my family, so I always look out for my brother and sister。好啦，那希望今天这个 Magic Box 你们都有学会咯，我们下次见，拜拜。
所以昨天讲到2种剪辑方式，今天还会讲到2种哦，所以我们就知道说 cut 是真的可以帮助电影的故事性去做变化的。So what is our next one?
Well, we have a match cut.
哦，所以这个 match 就是有匹配嘛 ，so like 这个叫做匹配剪辑。So what is a match cut?
We see in the article a match cut matches 2 scenes.OK,
所以 match 我们知道就是匹配嘛，所以呢，我可以讲说，Does my hat match my shirt?
It does.
Oh, I think it does. They're both pink. 所以呢，匹配剪辑匹配2个场景的意思。
Or people would tell me, don't wear those red pants with that purple t-shirt. They don't match. Okay, so let's explain how a match cut works. The article starts and says, you see a shot.OK,
所以我们昨天有讲到 shot 就是一个镜头嘛，所以好，你看到这个镜头 and then?
Well, then the next shot has something with a similar, remember that word, a similar action, object, or sound.
那我们先来讲一下 action 这个单字。Action 是动作，所以我们可以造一个句子 It's a matter of life and death, so we need to take action now. 因为攸关生死，所以我们必须立刻行动。所以其实我们在讲电影里面的动作片也是这个字action movies. 好，那我们造另外一个句子 The teacher put her hands on her head and all the students did the same action. 老师把他的手放在头上，然后所有的同学就跟着做一样的动作。
So here, when we're talking about movies, 2 similar actions would be 2 characters doing the same kind of thing. In the first shot, maybe somebody is about to take a drink of something. The second shot is a different person taking a drink of something.
Okay.
These could be 2 different people in 2 different places at 2 different times, but they're both taking a drink, maybe even of the same drink, and that's why it's a match cut. It's saying these 2 are connected even if you don't quite know how yet.
Okay.
So we could connect, a match cut could connect similar actions. It could also connect similar objects.
Okay, 那也是我们今天第一个单词 Let's take a look. 好 object 就是有物体的意思，所以比如说 there were several objects on the floor of the room 就是这一个房间的地板上有一些物体。那其实除了当物体以外呢，我们也可以拿来当目的或者是目标的意思。比如说 The object of this program is to educate people about road safety 代表这个计划的目的呢是去对人们进行道路的安全教育。我们看另外一个句子哦There are so many objects on my desk. I need to put some of them away. 我桌子上有好多东西，要把它们收起来。So 我们讲到这一个 cut 的方式，就知道说这个 cut 会怎么使用呢？它是会用在下一个镜头有类似的动作、物体或者是声音的时候。
Right, so again, if it's the action is one thing that connects 2, you could have connection of 2 objects. Could be 2 different guns, but different times, different people, different places. For the word object, I could say there are several objects on my desk, including a toy rat, a couple of prizes, and a cell phone holder. So let's get back to the article and look at why directors and filmmakers use match cuts. We see match cuts link up events and help scenes flow together.
Link up 就是连接起来的意思哦。
We could say the story has 2 characters. They start in different places and do different things. However, by the end, their 2 stories link up.
所以刚刚我们说这个 flow 这个 flow 就有点在那边当动词，还有连贯的意思。所以 match cuts 可以把事件 link up， 把它们连接起来，然后帮助他们去连贯2个场景。
Yeah, a movie should flow nicely. If you suddenly go, hang on, where are we? What's going on? then the story is not flowing. People are confused. But if the movie's flowing nicely, then people understand when you've changed scene or what you're trying to say. And it's the same in writing. We could say in a good article, ideas flow from one to the other with no jumping around and back again. So just as we did yesterday, we're going to give you examples of some famous movies that use this kind of cut. The article says the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey has a famous match cut that connects humans' past and future.
那这边出现今天下一个单字就是 famous. Let's take a look too. Famous 就是有著名的意思，那一般就是一个 be 动词嘛 be famous for something 代表以什么东西为著名，比如说 this restaurant is famous for its pasta, or we can also say this restaurant is known for its pasta, 其实都是 OK 的。那我们看另外一个句子 Everyone knows about this famous restaurant, it's hard to get a table there. 大家都知道这间有名的餐厅一位难求。
So I could ask, which famous person do you want to meet?
The president
Of anywhere?
Of anywhere, yeah.
Sure. Okay. Just meet a president.
Yeah, a
Okay.
president. Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of famous writers I would love to meet at some point, but you guys wouldn't know who they were. Stephen Erickson, for example. Never mind. We've got another word to look at here. It's the word connect, because this is the key to what a match cut is used for.
Connect 就是连接的意思哦，所以比如说把 A 跟 B 连接在一起 to connect A to B， 比如说 Can I connect my phone to your computer？ 我可以把我的手机跟你的电脑连一起吗？那其实 connect 它这边是动词嘛，名词就是 connection。那我们在这个字后面加上一个 s 变成 connections， 就会是有人际关系或社会关系一个人的人脉的意思。比如说 His brother had some good business connections in New York。他的哥哥呢在纽约有一些很良好的商业人际关系。好，那 let's take a look at another sentence. This bridge over the river connects these two large cities. 这条河上的桥呢是连接了两座很大的城市。
We could also say the police connected some facts to find the killer.
所以呢我们在文章中就知道电影2001太空漫游里面有一幕著名的 match cut， 它就是把人类的过去跟未来连接在一起。
Yeah, I think it's when like a very early human like lifts a tool in the air and then they kind of cut to a spaceship. So it's like the past, the future.
Okay.
And tools.
Cool.
Okay, we got one more cut to look at, the cross cut.
Cross cut? So like a cross, like 交叉?
Not quite.
Okay, so it's like a 交叉剪辑. What is it about?
Well, it says cross cuts move between scenes in different times and spaces.
But that kind of sounds like the last one.
Yeah, but they're matching here. When they match cuts, they match the things like exactly. This is a bit different.
所以交叉剪辑是在不同的时间跟空间的场景之间移动的。
The article says they show that the action is happening at the same time.
Okay.
So the events may not be connected, but they are like events happening at the same point in time.
Okay. 但所以这个 cross cut 它指的就是去表达说他们的动作是同时发生的。
We see in the article Christopher Nolan used cross cuts in Inception to show different levels of a dream.
OK， 所以这边的 level 呢，指的就是层级的意思。那么 level 也可以有级别水准的意思哦。比如说 ，They provide classes for advanced level students。他们有为高阶的学生提供课程。那文章中意思就是说 ，Christopher Nolan 他在 Inception 中呢，这部电影他有使用到 cross cut 去展示不同层次的梦。
We could also talk about levels like video game levels. Each video game level is harder than the one before. Or you could say, this story has different levels. On one level, it's a fun adventure. On another, it's a story about growing up. So you can kind of read it in different ways.
不同的层级。
Okay, let's go on with the next
Can we
part
keep
of the
going? Yeah.
article. It says, when you're watching a movie, look for the different cuts.
所以在看电影的时候 I never actually paid attention. Like,
Sometimes they're very obvious and you go, okay, I see what you've done
okay,
there.
now that I've read this article, I think I'll
Yeah,
know more.
but if they're really good, you don't notice them until afterwards.
Right, 所以大家在看电影 影的时候呢，你就可以去找找看，哎，这什么 cut， 这什么 cut， 这什么 cut。
The article says you might love how they change a story.
你可能会很喜欢这些 cuts 来改变故事的方式哦。
Yeah, ideally you should notice none of the cuts the first time you watch it because the story of the movie is so good. You're like, oh, this is great. But then when you watch it a second time, you go, okay, I know what happens now. I've enjoyed the story. Now I'm going to pay a bit more attention to some of the music and cuts and things like that. So you pretty much notice this the second time, not the first time.
Okay.
But that is the end of today's article. So let's go to our review time activity.
Review time.
Okay, Chicolin and I are now going to pretend to be filmmakers.
Okay.
Very exciting. We are going to think about some different kind of scenes and stories, and then we'll decide which cut we should use in this to make the effect we want.
That's
okay.
kind of tricky.
Well, let's see. Let's try it. Number one, I'm telling or I'm shooting a gangster story of a father and a son who both experience similar things. Now, I want to use ways to make the stories feel connected. What should I use?
匹配剪辑 because we talked about similar objects, similar people,
Yeah, actions and so
actions
on.
and stuff
Yeah,
in two different cuts.
that's right.
So I think it's a match cut.
It is a match cut, and this is from The Godfather Part 2.
Okay.
There are match cuts like this in that story.
Okay.
Okay, let's have another situation.
Okay, so this is a horror film,
Okay.
and two young people are walking around an old hospital at night.
That's already scary.
Spooky. I want to make the audience feel scared. What should I use?
Okay, well, apart from dark lights and scary music, you've got to have a bit where suddenly, like, a door opens and something comes out. And so you use a jump cut because remember, when there's jump cuts, people feel uncomfortable, a bit stressful. That's what you want to do. Like, oh, what's that? What's that in the shadows? That would be the one for a horror film.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to number 3. In this story, there's a big space battle taking place. At the same time, there's a battle in a forest, and there's a battle between two people on a spaceship happening too. 3 different types of fights. Spaceship fight, big war battle, one-on-one fight. What can I do to show that all of these are going on at the same time and the results of one fight could affect the others?
I think it's the last one that we just talked about.
Indeed, yes.
So it's called the cross cut, right?
Cross cut, yeah. Match cuts could help, but match cuts are usually about setting up.
Oh, okay.
And a cross cut would work here. This, by the way, is mostly Return of the Jedi, the Star Wars film, but any Star Wars film pretty much does the same kind of thing when it gets to the end.
Wow.
Okay, well, final one. We kind of know what the cut's going to be, but what's a good scenario for it?
Maybe a man is telling his son the story of how he met his mother. We don't just want to hear the story,
Right.
we want to see moments from it.
Of course we do.
Yeah. What can we do?
Well, cutaways, don't we?
Yeah.
We do cutaways. The man says,
Memories.
it was Paris, 1975. Cut scene in Paris, French music, walking along, that kind of thing.
I love this one the most.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that's the way we can use these stories for different scenes and what we're trying to do with them. I hope you guys have learned something from it all, but we're out of time today. Thanks for watching. For A+ English, I'm Pat.
I'm Chicolin.
We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Film cuts bring everything together. Warm-up question. What other things in movies change their feelings or stories?
Some cuts can help tell a film's story. Here are 2 more to look out for. Match cut. A match cut matches 2 scenes. You see a shot, then the next shot has something with a similar action, object, or sound. Match cuts link up events and help scenes flow together. The movie 2001: A Space Odyssey has a famous match cut that connects humans' past and future. Crosscut. Crosscuts move between scenes in different times and spaces. They show that the action is happening at the same time. Christopher Nolan used crosscuts in Inception to show different levels of a dream. When you're watching a movie, look for the different cuts. You might love how they change a story. Word power. Action. Action. The teacher put her hands on her head, and all the students did the same action. The teacher put her hands on her head, and all the students did the same action. Object. Object. There are so many objects on my desk. I need to put some of them away. There are so many objects on my desk. I need to put some of them away. Famous. Famous. Everyone knows about this famous restaurant. It's hard to get a table there. Everyone knows about this famous restaurant. It's hard to get a table there. Connect. Connect. This bridge over the river connects these two large cities. This bridge over the river connects these two large cities.
认识字汇
Flow. Flow.